On the 20 slides shown below, I present the original photographs of the Second World War from the German archive, which are in my collection. These photos are from my collection department, Wehrmacht on the Eastern and Western Fronts. If you like it, subscribe to my YouTube, like it, so you don't miss the new weekly presentations. If you would like to order 5 inches by 7 inches copies of these photos from the original, you can specify which photos you would like to receive. Laboratory quality. Enjoy your viewing. Siegfried Schnell, the 23rd of January 1916, the 25th of February 1944, was a German military aviator who served in the Luftwaffe during World War II. As a fighter ace, he was credited with 93, that is, 93 aerial combat encounters resulting in the destruction of the enemy aircraft, claimed in an unknown number of combat missions. He had 3 victories on the Eastern Front and 90 over the Western Allies, including 12 4-engine bombers. On the 1st of May 1943, Schnell was appointed Gruppenkommandeur, Group Commander, of 3. Gruppe of Jägergeschwader 54, JG 54, 54th Fighter Wing, which was fighting in defense of the Reich. On the 1st of February 1944, he was given command of 4. Gruppe of JG 54, based near Leningrad on the Eastern Front. Schnell was killed in action on the 25th of February 1944 during the Soviet Narva offensive when he was shot down by an opposing fighter near Narva, Estonia. Joachim Munchberg, the 31st of December 1918, the 23rd of March 1943, was a German Luftwaffe fighter pilot during World War II and an ace credited with 135 air victories. The majority of his victories were claimed over the Western Front, with 33 claims over the Eastern Front. Of his 102 aerial victories achieved over the Western Allies, 46 were against Supermarine Spitfire fighters. He was given command of JG-26's 2. Gruppe, 2nd Group, in September 1941 and was then posted to Jägergeschwader 51, JG-51-51 ST Fighter Wing, on the Eastern Front, in July 1942. Serving as a Geschwader Commodore, Wing Commander, in training under JG-51 Wing Commander Karl Gottfried Nordmann, he claimed his 100th aerial victory on the 5th of September 1942 for which he was awarded the Knight's Cross of the Iron Cross with oak leaves and swords on the 9th of September 1942, his score then at 103 aerial victories. On the 1st of October 1942 Munchberg was given command of Jägergeschwader 77, JG-77, 77th Fighter Wing, operating in the Mediterranean theater. He died of wounds following a mid-air collision during combat near Mnassy, Tunisia on the 23rd of March 1943. Wilhelm Hugo Speer, the 7th of February 1885, the 2nd of April 1953, also known as Hugo Speer, was a German military aviator in World War I and a Generalfeldmarschall in the Luftwaffe during World War II. Speer joined the Imperial German Army in 1903. He served in the artillery upon the outbreak of World War I. In 1914 he joined the Luftstreitkräfte as an observer, then trained as a pilot. Speer ended the war at the rank of Hauptmann, captain, in command of an aerial reconnaissance attachment of a field army. In 1934, after the Nazi Party seized power, Speer was promoted to Generalmajor, Brigadier General, and transferred from the army to the Luftwaffe. Speer was given command of the Condor Legion in November 1936 and fought with the Expeditionary Force in the Spanish Civil War until October 1937. In September 1939 World War II began with the invasion of Poland. Speer and his air fleet served exclusively on the Western Front. He played a crucial role in the Battle of France and Battle of Britain in 1940. In 1941 Speer directed operations during the Blitz over Britain. From mid-1941 his air fleet became the sole command in the West. Through 1941 and 1942 he defended German-occupied Europe against the Royal Air Force, as well as the United States Army Air Forces. From 1943 on the 1st of May 1945 he was captured by the British. After the war, he was charged with war crimes at the High Command trial but was acquitted. The Dornier Do-17 is a twin-engined light bomber produced by Dornier Flugzeugwerke for the German Luftwaffe during World War II. Designed in the early 1930s as a Schnellbomber, fast bomber, intended to be fast enough to outrun opposing aircraft, the lightly built craft had a twin tail and shoulder wing. Sometimes referred to as the Fliegende Bleistift, flying pencil, it was popular among its crews due to its handling, especially at low altitude, which made the Do-17 harder to hit than other German bombers. The Do-17 made its combat debut in 1937 during the Spanish Civil War, operating in the Condor Legion in various roles. Along with the Heinkel He-111 it was the main bomber type of the German Air Arm in 1939 to 1940. The Dornier was used throughout the early war, and saw action in significant numbers in every major campaign theater as a frontline aircraft until the end of 1941, when its effectiveness and usage was curtailed as its bomb load and range were limited. Production of the Dornier ended in mid-1940, in favor of the newer and more powerful Junkers Do-88. The successor of the Do-17 was the much more powerful Dornier Do-217, which started to appear in strength in 1942. Some remaining Do-17s continued in various Luftwaffe roles until the end of the war, as a glider tug, research, and trainer aircraft. A considerable number were sent to other Axis nations, with few surviving the war. The last was scrapped in Finland. Joachim Friedrich Huth, the 31st of July 1896, the 27th of March 1962, was a German general in the Luftwaffe during World War II and the Air Force of the Bundeswehr in West Germany. Huth retired from the military service in 1961 holding the rank of Generalleutnant. Huth was born in 1896 in Neuhof and entered military service in the Prussian army shortly before the outbreak of World War I, in July 1914. Huth re-entered the military service of the Luftwaffe on the 1st of March 1934, holding the rank of Hauptmann. He became the Geschwader Commodore of the Zerstörer 26 Horst vessel. Huth earned the Knight's Cross of the Iron Cross on the 11th of September 1940 in this position for the successful leadership of his fighter wing in the Battle of France and Battle of Britain. Huth commanded various fighter divisions from 1942 until 1944 before taking command of the 1. Jagdkorps, 1st Fighter Corps, on the 26th of January 1945. He held this position until the end of the war, when he was taken prisoner by the British forces. He was released in 1946. 1. In 1956, Huth joined the Bundeswehr after the remilitarization of the Federal Republic of Germany, holding the rank of Generalmajor. He led the Luftwaffe school at Fürstenfeldbruck and, until his retirement. The Arado R-96 is a German single-engine, low-wing monoplane of all-metal construction, produced by Arado Flugzeugwerke. It was the Luftwaffe's standard advanced trainer during World War II. Designed by Walter Bloom as the result of a 1936 Reich Air Ministry tender, the prototype, powered by a 179 kilowatts, 240 horsepower, Argus's 10C engine, first flew in 1938. In 1943, Arado started development of a new derivative of the R-96, using non-strategic metals and wood, to be powered by a 580 horsepower, 430 kilowatts, Argus's 411 megaamperes engine. In 1943, Arado started development of a new derivative of the R-96, using non-strategic metals and wood, to be powered by a 580 horsepower, 430 kilowatts, Argus's 411 megaamperes engine. The R-96 was used for advanced, night and instrument flying training. During the Battle of Berlin, on the evening of the 28th of April 1945, test pilot Hanna Reich flew with then Luftwaffe head Generalfeldmarschall Robert Ritter von Grimm out from Berlin under Soviet fire in an Arado R-96 trainer, from an improvised airstrip in the Tiergarten. Arado was produced in many variants, main of them, Arado R-96.SVG Arado R-96A, two-seat advanced trainer aircraft initial production version. Arado R-96B, improved version its main production version and Arado R-96B1, unarmed pilot trainer version. Victory rudder markings. Here are what the victory markings look like on the Messerschmitt-109 rudder. Markings vary from aircraft to aircraft and pilot to pilot. There is a very different standard and some can be customized in every Messerschmitt-109.